think I've realized that one of the hardest things to accept in life, it's simplicity. You would think it's one of the easiest things, right? But that is extremely challenging. I spent the last, I want to say 10 years of my life striving for things, trying to achieve goals. And I've always prided myself on being a big dreamer, a big thinker, which I don't want you to get me wrong, is not what I'm saying you shouldn't do. But recently I've gained some perspective that I've never had. This is an interesting kind of paradox that I want to talk about. Long story short, I've recently achieved one of my biggest dreams, which is working with my idols, people I've looked up to for many years, and that's Yes Theory. It's a YouTube channel. But through that process of achieving something that I've wanted for so long, I've realized that I've spent so much of my life searching and grabbing and reaching for things, trying to push myself. And as I've been doing that, I haven't acknowledged the present. I've tried to make things more complicated, fill up my schedule, do, instead of just be. And it took me achieving all that I'd been looking for to realize that I think the thing I'd been looking for, this kind of sense of fulfillment, was with me the whole time. I've been thinking a lot about the absolute complete opposite of working really hard, filling up your schedule, trying to do, which I think is, I've boiled down, is embracing simplicity. I think it's finding the peace and excitement and happiness that comes with everyday life. It's enjoying the process, for me, of making coffee in the morning. The process of making a nice meal and enjoying it, and not seeing those things as like tasks that you have to do just to survive, because I feel like there's resistance to that, but it's like accepting that they're a part of living and just enjoying it. Enjoy the process of doing it. I've always pushed back against the idea of, waking up, eating, making it through the day, and then going to sleep. That has felt too simple for me. It's like, we're here, I want to do more. I have more ideas, I want to do things. And I'm not trying to say that you shouldn't do those things, or that I don't want to do those things. But I think I've only really ever been focused on filling up my day by avoiding the simple things. The peace and the happiness, the contentment that I think I've been journeying for without knowing, that's where it's found. Life doesn't have to be complicated for it to be fulfilling. In fact, I think it's more fulfilling to have an uncomplicated life, which is much, much harder to do. There's this idea that I've recently come across, which I'm sure you've heard about at some point, which is the idea of romanticizing your life. If you aren't familiar with what this kind of approach is, it's essentially living your life as though you are the main character in a movie. But what I've been thinking about a little differently is, why is it that you get excited about seeing things in a movie and you want to make your life feel like you're in a movie, which is ultimately not real? And what I've been thinking about is flipping that perspective. What if the movie was made about me? Which is essentially the same thing, but it's just not you trying to be like a movie. You know what I mean? Fit into that mold. It's like, what if the movie was about me? And that's kind of what I wanted to achieve with this video, is just taking simple things, like doing the laundry, and just being excited about the simple things. Accepting that that's a part of life and that it's beautiful. Because I feel like there's so much pressure, at least I feel so much pressure to take the route that I have for the last 10 years, which is pushing and doing more and just trying to be quote unquote successful in the eyes of whoever. It's been ingrained in me, at least, you know, that if I am to choose a life of simplicity, I'm giving up or I'm failing, which I don't think is true. But anyway, this idea of romanticizing your life I think is really cool, especially if you approach it from the lens of somebody should make a movie about your life because it's amazing. So really, I think at the essence of it, what I'm talking about is just acceptance that maybe life isn't as grand all the time as it's made out to be, whether it be in movies or on social media or what other people talk about. I think for the majority of us, life isn't always that exciting, but I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that's what I'm trying to get at. Practicing and accepting simplicity is very, very difficult because of the standards that I think we put on ourselves based on the things that we see and what we hear from others. And that's okay. I'm still worthy. You're still worthy of love and acceptance and everything by not always trying to achieve something and reach for something. I'm not saying throw your dreams away. I'm fully supportive of that. In fact, I encourage it highly, but don't just focus on that. And this is going right back to me as it is to you. Don't just focus on that, because if you do, like I have, yes, you may achieve something really, really cool and great, and I'm so grateful for it, and I feel so blessed. But at the same time, I feel like I've missed out on something that was right in front of me the entire time, which is just how beautiful life is if you just take a minute to slow down, take a step back, and accept and see that simplicity is really the essence of what it means to be a human. And I think there's a lot of beauty in that. All right.